All right, what's up? We got some new rules and some good stuff to laugh about.
Yeah,
Frank decided to hop on and join me, so we can scroll through this stuff. So I'm going to work on getting this link shared from YouTube. So while I do that, what you been up to, man? How's it been going?
just working, trying to catch up on customer builds and
You
keep it
ready for
keeping steady at my job and all that fun stuff.
you ready to have Christmas with the kid and all that kind of good stuff?
Oh yeah.
Everybody Christmas shopping done and all that jazz.
Oh no, I haven't even started. Just getting the Christmas together. So hopefully they hurry up. Santa has time to get stuff together. We'll see how that. Hopefully that I don't deserve much of anything. But so I'll bring them if they want. Plus. But yeah, let's talk these rules when you get a second, and
All right.
we'll
Yeah,
go
I just
through
I
them.
shared
I know there's
that
a
stuff.
couple new classes added that we could take a look at, and the only rules I'm aware of that changed for outlaws a couple of body rules, but I don't think they really affect it. So
Well, it depends how they're interpreted.
yeah, the way I interpret them, I don't think anything changes. The way
Yeah.
somebody else interprets them, maybe some things might change.
Yeah, and that's the only thing that I think is going to worry a lot of people is showing up to a race and whether or not they know their stuff is legal.
But
So,
you know what? I mean, everybody's running the same stuff, and I mean, if you cut off an eighth inch of your grill, do you really think that's going to make or break a car?
no.
No, it's not going to do anything at all. If
All
you have
right.
a car, it's going to be a good car, whether it's an eighth inch tall in the front or not. But I mean, people got used to cutting them this way. I mean, I personally, I think they look better. I think they look a little meaner and
Yeah.
sleeker. Whether the performance is a gain or not, I think that's kind of a wash.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
all you're kind of doing is pushing center of pressure around. So, in on-road terms, yeah, that would be a decent steering gain.
Yeah.
But losing the splitter, you actually lose steering, back regardless. So it's kind of a mix on that, but it doesn't really matter for drag racing in that regard. So
And it's kind of
um,
on a fast track, the car might be faster with a little taller nose. On
yeah,
a loose track with the nose down, you get a little more downforce. So maybe it helps.
yeah. The big thing in that is just going to be what you guys end up doing with the rear in general. Because I mean, you can raise the grill, you're going to raise the rear deck if you want to keep the downforce in it, or you're going to just run it lower, and you guys are going to have even more mile an hour. So
Yeah.
I think from a performance standpoint, it's not going to be a huge change. The only change will be, whether people have, you know,
For the most
arguments
part,
over what's legal or what's not, and who's mad because their bodies aren't going to be
yeah,
allowed or whatever. Or like we both know, any of the manufacturers who do. I mean, let's face it. Andy and Dan and them, they could very quickly just
raise
move
the
the
grill.
true line off the
Yeah.
the front fascia and just slide it up an
It's
eighth an
almost
inch or a
like
quarter, and Protoform will follow suit, and
the
go
rules
ahead.
create more issues than we began with. I mean, why create rules around something that's not an issue? I mean,
Yeah,
maybe the person doesn't like the way it looks. I mean, that's kind
yeah,
of, I mean, it hasn't been an issue all summer. Nobody's mentioned one thing about the rake in these bodies or cutting into the grills, and everybody's on the same page. Most of the racers mount these bodies the same way.
yeah,
Why I bring something up and throw it in the rules in an outlaw class that's unnecessary? That's just gonna cause bullshit. It's
yeah,
it's a big deal. I mean, if I go to a race and they're teching to have the entire grill, I'll mount a brand new body that's a 16th inch higher than what I normally run.
yeah,
It is what it is. Everybody's got to adapt to the same rules, but I don't see a lot of tracks following that rule. I think it's gonna be more similar to like what the wing rule has been. The wing stuff got out of control really early on when people were running dry tire. Obviously, more wing will give you more rear down force with dry tire and help out a bit, right?
yeah,
The wing started getting out of control, so they made a rule for it. Down the road, once prep came about, nobody wanted a tall wing. A tall wing will slow you down. So the rule kind of vanished. Nobody texts for wing height anymore because if you have a giant wing on your car, it's slowing you down anyways. And I don't think anybody knows for sure that a slammed body in the nose is faster. I think a lot of people just did it because it looked cool or it looked like it would work. But I don't have any data that says the front being slammed is faster than raising it up an 1/8 inch. It could be faster higher. So I just kind of cut it that way and it worked for me and I just left it. And a lot of people.
The only experience I have with that is like, for example, I went to snowbirds. Actually, the last year I won the 6L class in Mod Oval. I beat Ziggy, and I took my snowbirds car to that big banked oval in Ravenna, I think it's called, in Ohio, where Freddie's had. It was basically like a half velodrome that they were running quarter scales at. And we ran there, and I put that thing down and dumped in like 2.5 minutes and could just run right along the white line around the bottom.
Yeah, I was just stuck.
Yeah, it was just glued to the track and slow. Yep. And we were going to have this Oval Worlds a couple weeks later. And I talked to Blackstock, actually. And he told me, he's like, just put the rear fenders basically down on the tires and put the front end as high as you can until it blows over or it won't steer enough. And I did that, and it wouldn't steer at all when I got there. So I just kept lowering the nose until I could get it to steer enough. Yeah. And I ran like 4.5 minutes out the back door, wide open, and put like a lap on the field. Like, with the exact same motor and batteries that I couldn't even run 2.5 minutes with the weekend before. Like, the speed difference was massive. So, the rake will make a difference, but
different for different guys, beneficial.
Yeah, I think what you guys are doing is not hurting anything.
Yeah, I think it's cool that right now you have the option to change it for different tracks. Like you go on a light track, you got the option to raise it up. You go on a loose track, you got the option to put some rake in it. It's
my only concern with it is just the interpretation of the grill. Like, are you going to break out a pair of calipers and measure everyone's bodies right to the cut line and say, this is the bottom, this is how much body has to be there? Because, I mean, at that point, you get into the realm of where, like,
nobody wants.
We had in the touring car stuff with all the global body spec where you had to have, like, approved bodies with approved lines, and, they're not going to do that. They don't want to check 3/4 of the things that they should be checking anyway, let alone, that type of stuff. So that's one of the things where I don't understand a grill rule, because just like you posted, you're just going to take the sticker and slide it up 1/8 of an inch, and the grill's all there. What do you want me? What do you want?
Most of my bodies I cut right into the bottom of the grill, just level with it anyways. So I mean, pretty good. But I've seen a lot of. I've even tried it in the past, slamming it, cutting half into the grill.
Yeah, yours is up higher than I've seen some of your other ones earlier. We've gone back up a little bit.
Yeah, and I don't think it makes a difference. I mean, I tried it both ways, and I mean, you're limited to tire size anyway. You're only going to get that body so low in the front without rubbing the tire. I mean, I don't see why there needs to be a rule for that. Maybe if you want to put a rule, you're not allowed to bubble the bodies over the front tires.
Yeah.
That would kind of restrict that. We've done that in the past, but we never really ran a car like that. I've on with bubbling. I think I've sent you some pictures where.
Yeah, I've seen those.
I'm like this
melted it and smashed it.
Yeah, I was like, this would probably work really good, but I don't want to open this can of worms up. So,
yeah.
This is a moral thing, But
yeah. Let's see. Is there anything else in here any different? Really, wheelbases, all that stuff's pretty much the same.
I think that was about it for Outlaw. They're talking something about you can't cut the rear deck, which we briefed about that a little bit. Talked about that.
Yeah, and honestly, even like talking, it was kind of funny. I kind of rambled through some of them, and even Angel mentioned, she's like, well, isn't it more difficult to cut out the back of the bodies the way you guys are, where you're kind of cutting a lot more off to use a different wing to like flare the back end of the C7 out and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And which I understand, but at the same time, okay, they're going to go off of that rule, which again, all a body manufacturer is going to do is go, hey, send me one of those. And they're going to take it and lay it over the mold and backfill some of the material and
No,
cut all that stuff off, just like you guys are running anyway, and go, there you go. It's the same
yeah,
thing. It doesn't matter.
but
Like,
we've already kind of walked through that. I mean, currently, like with the Game Changer wing that BC Race Cars makes and Dustin's GFRP wing, you've got to kind of slice the molded in wings. You know,
right,
it says you can't cut the deck in the rules, but it doesn't say you can't cut those off.
right.
And we're not cutting into the deck; we're cutting into the Pro Mod molded in wing. All the deck's still there, you know. So the body, what if you look at a real vet in a top view and you look at these RC cars in a top view, we're not getting into the trunk or the deck at all. So I mean,
Yeah.
I think
The difference will be
I
like Andy's body that doesn't have those kind of lines in it.
yeah. Plus, I think if they
So,
want to stop people from doing that, they're going to need to word them rules a lot differently because right now, the way they're interpreted,
yep.
nothing's changed on my body. You know,
Yeah.
there's nothing changed.
But that's the only thing that they need to not just release this rule, but sit down and do a walkthrough on what their interpretation is. That's my only thing that I
Well,
think, especially before you guys spend the money to travel to an event,
yeah,
they need to do a Facebook Live or a video to go through it and say, here's our interpretation, here's what we would like people to follow, blah blah blah.
yeah. Most
And
races,
then see if the organizers are actually going to follow it.
similar to the burnout rules here too. I think the
Yeah.
burnout have been in the rules, but 90% of races didn't require a burnout. So I think it's up to the race promoters, to put their set of rules out and what they're going to follow and what they aren't. For NPRC to just throw some rules out there for stuff that didn't need rules.
I do laugh that they, I mentioned using that other touring car, that
Yeah.
Iris that's coming out,
Mhm.
and they changed the wording on connected and operating hinge pin arms at all four corners of the car.
Yeah.
So they're already trying to squash that kind of stuff. So
Which
I find that amusing.
I get it, and I get what they're trying to do with the bodies too. I mean, it all makes sense, but in my opinion, in a perfect world, they should leave Outlaw alone. There's nothing wrong with Outlaw. The only thing NPRC, in my opinion, needed was a VXL class. And that's been talked about all through the year. Give the new people and give the people that can't spend the money and time to go be competitive in Outlaw or travel all over the country, give them someplace to race and be competitive, and where they don't have to rent a car every night of the week. They can toss it in the back seat for a couple days and go race, and have fun with the VXL stuff. And give them a platform to race and have fun and be competitive,
Yeah.
Everybody's been pounding that all over Facebook for the last 8 months, with even people like and other racers that are competitive nationally. If a VXL class starts up, that's going to take away from the pot for Outlaw. Who's that going to hurt?
Right.
People that are traveling for these big races, which is fine. And being a faster racer, I understand the pots are going to get smaller, and I'm 100% okay with that because it's good for the hobby to have another class for people that aren't crazy,
Right. Yeah, there needs to be growth and progression, and that's been one of my complaints with on-road is all the guys like yourself are now in all the stock classes, so there's nowhere for anybody to progress from.
Yeah,
the manufacturers just want the win, so they don't care. They put all the sandbaggers in anything. So
yeah, I mean that needs to be. I guess you can kind of regulate that by not allowing. If you run Outlaw, you can't run VXL, right?
Right.
So I mean that kind of regulates that, and then the rest of it's up to our peers. If you got somebody that run an Outlaw, but they decide to run VXL, you just give them enough shit, and then they're up.
Yeah.
That's our job. But
yeah, I'm still disappointed in this one.
What's that?
On battery.
I'm having a hard time reading it. What's it say?
Any commercially available 2S in-store or online, which already kind of makes me laugh because we know guys have had custom-made ones and show up in races, whatever. But, that is what it is.
In-store or online.
They do the same thing in on-road where they just get a new cell and it goes inside of a case. The only thing that disappoints me is that there isn't a weight or a size limit or whatever, because that's still to me the biggest waste of money is batteries that are way oversized and way overpriced, and you guys can go just as fast with a much smaller pack that would save everybody a ton of money. That's probably the biggest cost save item here that could be corrected in all this really easily, but they refuse to do it.
Yeah, I think weight limit would be good because these batteries are getting out of control. I mean, it's becoming dangerous if one flies out of a car. You have a 600 or 700 gram battery on fire flying at a kid and standing next to the track on the big end or something.
Yeah, that's
because as irresponsible parents, I've seen a lot of things on tracks. It's just I don't know, even adults, I mean, stand right next to the track and they shouldn't be. The people that aren't RC will come by and watch the race and right with their kids by the top end, and it's
but that's the thing, they don't realize we don't have anywhere near as much control as they think.
Yeah.
Oh, look, these are awesome. No, we really don't. We're praying that they're going straight.
Safety is like number one, but besides safety, I mean, are these car manufacturers going to keep up with redesigning around new batteries?
Yeah. Well, that's why I laugh seeing the weight limit, because the weight limit is so low.
Yeah.
And I know the amount of work you guys put in with, all aluminum and titanium and chopping up even every gram of carbon, trying to get them lighter if the grip's going to be good, if you're going to a good track.
Yeah, I mean 2060 the cars don't work at 2060.
Yeah. And you're not even going to be able to really reach that.
Yeah. I mean, you might be able to if you try really, really hard, but I don't think it's worth it. You lose consistency when you get too light.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that rule, I mean, the batteries, that could have had a little more looking into. I like that they made it hobby shop or commercially available online or in shop. I don't think that was a rule in the past, or maybe it was motor. Yeah. One of them was still open. So
it looks like in Real Street they actually made a hard case required.
Now, what's the rules for Real Street? So it's
chassis looks the same, motor and speed control. Limit of 4.5 turns.
Yeah.
VXL motors are allowed in Real Street. So it's any two pole, no 4-pole stuff.
Gotcha.
Which, I mean,
just a tip for anybody messing with this class: put a 5.0 in instead of a 4.5.
Yeah, but regardless, to me, I mean, I still think this is ridiculous just because of the fact of how much we've raced with people like Dieter and, and everybody else. Like, what your 4.5 may be is not what a good motor builder's 4.5 can be. I can tell you that right now. Their 4.5 will run like a 3.5 or a 3.0.
Yeah,
we did that when they tried putting a 12 scale rule of 6.5s, and I had 6.5s with as low of resistance as my 3.5s and 4.0s.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the only problem with a generic number like that is, unless you're going to bring a scope or a resistance meter or any of that to these events and check them.
Yeah.
Good luck making it fair. There's going to be a guide to get them from. That's going to kick everyone's ass.
What's the wheelie bar and body rule in that class? That'll tell us everything we need to know.
Let's see. Battery, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
Dry tire only class.
Oh, all right. Yeah, motor don't matter.
I don't know well, it depends. If they're running at races with you guys and you're able to line up in the groove, motor's going to matter.
Yeah, not so much.
You don't think so?
No. Are they allowed a wheelie bar?
Prep, burnout, shocks, trans, weights. No wheelie bar is allowed.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, no.
You don't think so?
I don't think the motor is going to matter.
Okay.
Maybe. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know. I mean, I think a 5.0 will fly if they get it geared right.
Yeah. I mean, the touring car stuff that we run 5.0s all the time, and they're 80 mile an hour easily.
Yeah.
On a touring car track with
tires. Regardless, they'll need to attack the motors. I mean, if you're a motor rule on the class at big races, those motors need to be checked.
Yeah, if they think some engraving on a can is going to be enough, like
No,
they're ludicrous. They have no idea what they're getting themselves into.
no. Being that it's no wheelie bar, I mean, why put a motor rule on it?
That was kind of my point. Just make it 2-pole and leave it open. Everybody's already got a ton of
Yeah,
3.0s anyway.
yeah,
Like, it's not like it's hard to find one. Hell, I've got 2 of them.
yeah.
I've got one here and one still in my CJC car that we messed around with that one day when we first
Yeah.
tested some tires.
No,
So
I really like the class. It sounds really cool, you know. And I like that they're doing the 2-pole stuff. You know, get some of these manufacturers back in the game, and
yeah,
they'll get some more interest in drag racing. And it's something a little different. You know, it's cool.
yeah.
The motor rule 4.5. I mean, if you're gonna make a 4.5 rule, you better be teching them, because the
Yep.
more you think about it, the more a no bar car is probably gonna be pretty fast, even on a drive.
I forget who it was back. What was it? I thought, didn't you have videos of running one,
Yeah, yeah.
even with the full back of the body in the thing, and you still ran 1.9s and
On the GNSS at like 85.
yeah.
Yeah,
And the thing was like, I remember because you were laughing because in shutdown, like you sent it like 20, 30 feet in the air because it just
yeah,
kited on you.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because we cut the rear end out, so it took off like an airplane through the traps. Yeah,
right. Yeah, I remember because that's what made me think, well, this is a dumb rule because then you're gonna have to deal with motor cheating or motor tech, and
yeah,
they're not prepared for that from what I've seen from a tech standpoint. They don't want to tech stuff, but then they put in a rule like that they're gonna have to tech.
yeah. Like especially if they run for money in the class. I mean, you can't just take somebody's word that it's a 4.5.
Yeah. Then you're gonna have motor claim rules and
Yep,
everybody arguing over taking each other's motor.
13 all over again.
Yeah.
I not though, because it sounds like a cool class. Hopefully,
Yeah.
5 is overpowered in the car, and nobody
Like I
needs.
said, I think it'll just depend on if they're running with you guys as far as the same, if you can line up in the glue where you guys are running,
Yeah,
you're gonna be able to put down power, let's face it. I
yeah.
mean,
I don't think people have messed with no bar cars with floating mounts either. When I was playing with it, I was running standard mounts on the cars too. It was an old school Aero.
yeah, yeah. Let's see. Somebody asked here, Midwest RC battery has to be roar approved. Yes, actually roar approved.
Oh, that'll settle it.
Hmm,
Yeah,
interesting.
but I mean, I've ran very fast with ProTech. You know, the 55
Yeah,
Roar Legal pack. Um,
yeah,
and the voltage drop wasn't that bad. You know,
yeah,
that'll be fast. It's still gonna need tech.
yeah. Yes, hard case only for this class. Are they calling it Real Street?
That sounds like a cool class. I like the Roar
Yeah,
Legal.
I do also. I prefer the hard case stuff.
Yep.
So
Classes. I mean, this is a cool class. I don't think it was a necessary class. I think all we needed was a VXL class, but this sounds like a cool.
and that was. It looks like. Was that all they added? I thought there was 3 classes.
I don't know.
Am I
Hopefully
wrong?
there's something to VXL.
Street Outlaw. Street Outlaw. Real Street.
Okay.
I scroll down too fast. And then there's a body list
Okay.
rule, which I saw some guys saying the Super J. Which one is that? They were talking about that being illegal because you have to cut the front end like through the grill.
Yeah, Protoform's old Super J body. It would look like a Henry.
Okay. Okay, and then it's just NPRC ready to run.
Okay. What's
So
that?
any of the 3 RTR legal, team associated DR10, Traxxas Drag Slash, and Losi 22S Drag RC. Gearing, any of the electronics can be interchanged between the cars, motors, ESC, servo, radio, tires, and gearing. Cars must remain in stock configuration except for items in Rule 2. No manufacturer hop-ups or aftermarket parts allowed. Shock and diff can have fluids changed. Any replacement parts need to be for the RTR vehicle, no substitutions. TSM and driver assist radio and receiver must be disabled.
I love that class.
Yeah, that's simple enough.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's simple enough.
I don't want to spend the money on Outlaw. It's a great class.
Yeah, Ace can tree people in that all day.
Yeah. I think they've done a good job. I don't say anything negative about it. They put in a lot of work trying to get people together, and it's not easy. You're never gonna please everybody. I mean, that super street class, man. I wish it was a VXL class, kind of like an Outlaw car and body and everything, just with a VXL in it. Like a stepping stone class.
Gotcha.
Right now, it's not a stepping stone class. Pulls, roar back.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, with the dry tire and no bar and that stuff, it definitely changes it quite a bit. And like I said, my only worry of that is how drastic of a setup change it's going to be, whether you're racing local or you're racing at if they're going to include this at some of these major events where you guys are going to have glue.
Right now, all over the country, a lot of clubs are running this VXL class. A lot of them.
I'll be honest, I know. Because they really like our tires apparently for that. So we were actually selling our original tires a lot more than we expected, and suddenly I don't have to throw as many of them in the trash.
Yeah, that's a big class. So I mean, and people already like it. Good stepping stone class to Outlaw. I don't know. I don't know where that street whatever class came from. I just wish it was VXL instead, and I think a lot of people agree.
Yeah, just VXL Outlaw, basically.
I mean, there's already rules out there that clubs are successful with,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there might be some influence there from people that aren't too in touch or in tune. You know how these things go. I don't know.
Yeah. Same old.
Yeah,
it's RC industry.
I appreciate throwing rules out for us to race. I'll conform to whatever rules to go racing. It's
yeah. I'm glad they made the front tire rule 68 millimeters, so
you're in.
I didn't have to try and kill anybody over our over making new molds.
Yeah,
that's appreciated.
Good. They look at all that stuff, and they know a lot of these manufacturers are really good for the hobby, and if the majority of people are running what the manufacturers are making already, it'd be foolish to change rules around that stuff. I wish the rules would settle down for a year, and
yeah, I do find it interesting. So you've got for Outlaw, you have the front tire rule that's any commercially available with non-O-ring type minimum size 68. Okay. 68 or 2.68.
Everybody's over that.
Yeah. So then you scroll down to Real Street, though. Front tire, any commercially available in-store online, rubber with foam insert type, no O-ring.
Okay.
So there's no size.
They'll have to amend.
So there's no size limit. And I don't understand why they didn't just copy the same front tire rule from Outlaw. Because up there it says you can use with or without foam, and here, and here it says it needs to be a foam insert tire, which I have foam inserts, so I can throw them in. So it's really the same thing, but I'm just kind of confused why they didn't write the same rule.
And if they didn't mean to, it's because they're leaving it open still. Because I did hear something last week about a tire size for another class. I don't know what I read. I read somewhere that there was some talk about a taller tire for, which that doesn't make sense either. I mean, why? There's just some silly rules that need to be looked at a little bit further is all, in my opinion. Everything else is good. I mean, even the class, I mean, I hate to say this. I hate to say this because I'm not negative. I'm positive about everything, But that super street class, isn't gonna fly. Nobody's.
Yeah, you don't think so?
No.
Think more clubs and more places will just run VXL.
Yeah, they're already running VXL. You know, there's not enough racers locally at club racing to divvy it up between all these classes. You're gonna have two classes. You're gonna have VXL and you're Outlaw. That's it.
Yeah.
And the stock class. You know, if kids show up or people that went to the hobby shop and bought a DR10 or a Traxxas and want to go race their car, you know, they'll have a place to race it. You know, I can see all the clubs offering the three classes: a stock class, VXL, and Outlaw. And I don't even think Outlaw should be ran club races. You know, it's like people running pro modified carpet oval club racing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that
How much
doesn't
that make?
even 12 scale modified, non-road or any of that.
Oh,
Like, it doesn't exist.
no, I mean, and that's where we are with Outlaw right now. It's the pro mod of the RC world. You know, it's VXL is going to be a killer club race class, and people are already racing it. It's already out there. Race it.
Yeah.
I haven't even built one yet, but I think the 419's got a class going for it. So I'm going to build
Yeah,
an ace. So I'm going to build an ace car for that class. And we'll go out there and club. I'll let him work on his own stuff, and here, go. Have fun, you know. You got to question rules.
nice.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's couple comments. Maybe the body rules in real straight dictate a larger front tire, or you drag the bumper. I don't think so, because you still just change ride height. Like, I don't
Like if I
don't think that matters.
change the height of the post, I would leave it.
Yeah. Let's see. What else we got in here? Any questions, anyone? How am I feeling? I feel. You don't want to know how I feel.
You're looking old, like you got more gray or something. You're more gray now?
Dude, these last few months have been killing me. Absolutely killing me.
Hang in there.
December 23rd, man.
Yep.
You know, rotor and surgery stuff starts. Once that's done and healed, then I get to go into the throat specialist and see if they're going to rebuild all that too next. So, yay. Merry Christmas to me.
That's my take on the rules. I mean, it's like I said, I'm really appreciative that we have a group of people that are willing to step up and make rules.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I hate to even say I wish they would like reach out to a bunch of racers that are racing at every race. Get some
I think they should, though, because that's the same mistake that IFMAR makes, Roar makes, all these sanctioning bodies. And this is one of the reasons why it was kind of funny. I was watching a bunch of the old world championships. Ray Wood has a YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
So I was laughing looking at some of those, and I was kind of thinking I should like react or tell some of the stories behind a few of them. But I know why IFMAR usually screwed me in a couple situations, and it was because I always I was one of the only drivers that went to all the IFMAR meetings and argued with these guys from the points of, you know, being from a racer's perspective and a manufacturer's perspective as far as how I was going to use their rules or their stupid decisions on rules against them and the bigger problems that it was going to make in the long run. So that was one of the things that I kind of keep seeing with the racing organizations is they should be talking to you. At a minimum, I still think there should be at least a fast guy from at least 3 or 5 manufacturers or the couple tire guys. You know, there should be some input from.
There's there's probably 30 to 50 people that travel to every big race. You know what I mean? Input from any one of those guys, you know, would be fantastic. And a handful would be even better. You know, it's just I don't know. What is like some things that just don't make sense. You know, the nose body rule. You're limited by tires.
Yeah,
why cause a shitstorm when there's no reason to do it? You know.
Yeah. And I'm for having no rules, or at least like easy to tech, easy to follow rules that everybody can adhere
Yeah.
to. When you
Yep.
say that with a grill, and okay, is that the grill sticker or is there a grill line? Because as a body manufacturer, you could just spend 5 minutes and sand that thing right off and go, yeah, put the sticker where you want. Job done. Like,
Yeah.
it makes a rule like that irrelevant. So that's
And what the rule does is open things up like that. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
It opens up bullshit. Is what it does.
yeah.
When it's not necessary. I'm a little more concerned about the other class not being a VXL class when the whole country's already running VXL. That don't make sense. I hope it's successful. It sounds like a fun class, you know.
Yeah.
I won't run it. I'll run Outlaw still, but I mean, if a customer wants a car or something for that class, I'll build one that will go out and ruin the class with. But
Yeah. I mean, it'll definitely be interesting. And to me, I could be wrong, but to me, it almost seems like a harder class because you have no bar. And if you're running in low bite,
harder
that's
for the
fine. If you guys are running in glue, it's going to be really hard.
yeah, harder for the average racer. They need to keep
Yeah.
people like us out of it, you know, because we'll buy 20 packs of batteries and cycle them all to get the best Royal Legal battery. We'll go through a bunch of motors or call a motor builder and have one hand wound to 4.5.
Right.
Yeah, there's just endless things.
I'll tell you right now, this rule came out. I guarantee you, Dieter's phone was like, ba-bling, 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 ba-bling.
Yeah,
I mean,
and then it's going to be 13.5 all over again, possibly.
yeah.
Or you've got Outlaw 4.5s if they're not teching the motors. So that's, I don't know. I don't like the class. I'll be
I posted when I saw their preliminary rules. That's exactly what I posted. Like,
Mhm.
but that's the problem though. Is I understand that they have good intentions, but none of this group, at least the names that I saw listed, they haven't raced against someone like Jim or Cochran or the guys that know and can like makes something that's says it's legal. It is legal, but they know how to get more out of it, which is going to make a big difference and put somebody really far ahead. I mean, I'll give you an example. When we ran 6.5 in Vegas,
yeah.
the Trinity guys, like my car at that race was garbage.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was terrible. It was one of the worst 12 scale cars I've ever had. I finished fifth or fourth or something like that. I passed Tossolini and like one or two other cars on the outside of the back straightaway every lap. They would pass me in the infield and I'd go right back by them down the straightaway because we had so much more power.
Yeah,
They all run 6.5.
You've raced with and for the people that created the gray areas.
Yes, of course.
I mean,
that's why we won a lot.
Yeah. So, it's a little more understood, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So I just look at it from the rules aspect to stop idiots like me or you or Jim or the guys that really know how to push the envelopes of that kind of stuff so that it's fair and people can go race and feel that they have a chance to be competitive.
If they run that class at a big race, I would hope that they would not let you run Outlaw and that class.
Yeah.
I would hope you'd have to choose a class.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like to see a bunch of outlaw racers in that class kind of
Have they posted anything for like Vegas for like King of the Streets as far as anything to like see if they're going to have all these classes there or
that's usually just an outlaw race. I don't see them having it.
No.
I mean, and another thing, these NPRC rules, I mean, it's been talked about in the past. Like Tim Smith's even came out and said, well, these are just our suggestions for classes. Take them as you wish. You know, it doesn't mean you have to run this class at your club races or at your big race even. You know, this is the classes we're offering. So, I mean, take that how you want. You know, it's I appreciate and applaud the effort put into it. But I don't see that class being ran too many places.
Yeah.
Hopefully it does. I mean, cool. But
what did Scotty's had? Scotty's just had the RTRs and Outlaw, right?
Yeah. He tried.
It wasn't any kind of like intermediary class.
Yeah, he tried the no bar class the year before, and it was pretty good. It was a decent class. They had an okay turnout for it. That was the only place that's tried that. No bar.
Okay.
So, and then this past year, I think they replaced it with Queen of the Streets.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
Yep. So Queen of the Streets.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it goes good, and I hope everyone could be happy, and with the
Yeah,
rules.
I mean, and
I, I don't
that's
care.
one thing. People don't realize there's a vested interest from all of us for it to do good,
Yeah,
because
I mean,
obviously then the pots are bigger, it grows more, there's more interest, there's more opportunities for sponsorships,
yeah,
and for guys like me, there's a chance to sell a few more pair of tires to try and
I,
pay for
I,
everything.
I have skin in the game for this new class or a VXL class, so
Yeah.
it's my opinion on what's going on with the racing right now, and
Oh,
I don't know. I just think VXL would have been a better option. I
gotcha.
could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. People would be like, "You're an idiot." Well,
Well, I guess we'll see what ends up growing over the next 12 months, and
yep,
we'll
absolutely.
go from there.
Yeah, so
So
I'm just happy we have toy cars to race and people putting on races and people making all the rules, and I
yeah,
appreciate it. It's
yeah.
fun.
So is the whole family going out to Vegas this year or what? Just
Man,
you?
uh, probably just me if I go. That's tough with the kids. I mean, going out there with the kids, I got to take like an extra week and we got to do stuff. I can't take them out there and just let them sit at the hotel in an RC race all weekend.
Yeah.
If they come out there, I got to take them to do stuff. So it'll probably be just me.
Okay. Well, I'm going. I already told Angel she's coming.
Oh, no.
We'll
You
see if
got,
we'll
you
see
got
if the
a full,
girls are. What's that?
you got a full schedule.
Yeah, I don't know if the girls will come or not. It probably depends on hockey stuff or that, but we'll see
I'm
if
still up in the air. The family could come. I don't know. I wing it, man. I'll know a couple weeks before.
I'm just looking forward to going to the race this year and not having as many people like wanting to look like they want to stab me.
There you go.
So that'll be nice.
Good
That'll be
luck with
nice.
the tires. I've been hearing things.
That's my motivation to get the new tires done and out, so that I can walk through the pits and people are actually like, "Hey, how you doing?" Not like, "Oh, that fucking guy, Jesus Christ,
People
why did he
throwing
even come out here?"
voodoos at you as you walk by.
Oh man, last year in Vegas, that was the most miserable experience because it was like, okay, stuff's not going good. I haven't had a chance to like test or figure out what is going wrong, and then I'm like walking through the pits and you can just see everybody.
Nah.
I think
That,
like 5 people talked to me all weekend, so it was a very very awkward experience. But I guess I
that
screwed up, so one I had to take.
people appreciate you putting an effort and trying to fill the hobby.
I don't know about that. I got hundreds of messages that say otherwise.
Uh,
I'll give you the login to the replacement email.
if I got hundreds, thousands of good people.
So I'm looking forward to being able to go back out there and hopefully have something competitive to race against you guys. And
There you go.
I don't know. We'll see how goofy I get, and if I even try and race, or if I'm just gonna go hang out and have some fun. So
Yeah, springtime around, you'll have a car and you'll be ready to go.
yeah, we're probably gonna take it a little bit more seriously. We'll get the girls a little bit more wheel time, and
Yep.
hopefully I'll be feeling better to help be a little better mechanic this year. So it'll be good.
All good. Any questions? There's nobody watching us. Are we boring tonight?
There's 18 on now.
Oh, not
It's
bad.
been 45 minutes. Oh. Yeah, drink. Yeah, not really any other comments. Anybody else got anything? Because otherwise, we're out of here. It's late.
Yeah, I got meetings.
Old people like me gotta go to sleep.
Yep.
Let's let's make a rule against the top 50 racers that just support the majority of the big races.
Yeah.
That's kind of what they did. Whatever. yeah, that's pretty much it. All right.
Cool.
I'm
Good
gonna
luck.
get on some, thanks. I'm gonna get on some more videos here soon with tire mounting stuff and new tire stuff and all that other crap. Because yes, you were right. The tire mounting video I did last year was terrible, and the tires I mounted were terrible. Gotten way better. Found a way better process of doing them that I can actually do them pretty quick. So if anybody's ordered mounted tires from our site, yes, I'm the idiot sitting here with the glue, gluing them all. So, oh, that's about it. So we'll catch you later. I'm sure we'll see you around racing soon.
Yep. Yeah, we'll get together soon.
All right. Tell the family we said hi, and I'll catch you later.
All right. Catch you guys later. Bye.
See ya.